Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host Donald Wonder, and boy, I'm not gonna lie guys, I think I'm finally getting that Marvel Netflix television fatigue, because now we're gonna talk about the Defenders. And honestly guys, I didn't really want to do this review because I'm kind of burnt out. I was disappointed with this show overall. It's not terrible, but I was disappointed. But again, after talking about all the previous solo entries from these characters, we have to tie it up and do this last collection, the Defenders. So guys, if you're on YouTube, you're watching this, there's an iCard that will be in the top right hand corner. You can go there and listen to all the previous reviews I did for Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and a very short rant for Iron Fist. So let's cut to the chase. The Defenders. I was disappointed, and why? Now, this is going to be a spoiler discussion, guys. If you haven't seen the Defenders, I'm more or less going to ruin it for you in a way, but it's been a while, guys, so I'll give you some time to leave. Okay, you ready? Let's do it. Now, the problem with the Defenders is pretty simple, honestly, guys, because to my surprise, the show focuses on the two weakest, the things that bothered people the most in the solo movies, and that's Iron Fist, who's a core part of the storyline, and Daredevil and the Elektra storyline. Now, out of all the things that people had problem with, these two things are the things people disliked the most with the other series, and that's the focus of this series, man. I don't even know where to start. You know what? Let me start with the good, because there's actually a lot of good. The team, the Defenders themselves, the actors are fine. The chemistry they have together, the Defenders, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and who am I forgetting? Daredevil. They all work. They act well together. There's chemistry there, and all the interaction they have as a team, as just people getting to know each other, it's actually fun. And to be honest with you, that's what saves the show from being very boring, very dull, and very uninteresting, because as a team, they work, and the team is not the problem. And to be honest with you, that is probably the best thing, because if they ruin the team dynamic here, in terms of how they characterize with each other, it would have been terrible. But we'll get to the chemistry, because there is a problem with the chemistry, but that's more of the execution of the plot itself. But as far as how the characters get along personality wise, they do really well, and again, the actors are great. Daredevil shines out just being a notch above the rest. I mean, his acting's better, his storyline, although I don't like it, it seems to be the most interesting part. I'll say that in quotes. Now, Jessica Jones is good. She's a bit, I mean, there's no nuance to her character. Was a little bit annoying. She just seems to be this annoying, sarcastic, know-it-all character. But to be honest with you, that's fine. It's fine for a female character to be like that, and she's still likable, to be honest with you, because she says what she means. She has some like a fourth wall breaking jokes, like she's always dissing Daredevil suit you're wearing. That again, I mean, I like Jessica Jones, but again, she can seem a bit one-dimensional, just being an asshole. But to be honest with you, she was fine, and you know, that's not the worst part. Luke Cage was good. He was really great. I never had a problem with his character, even in the series. Again, more of the writing of that series. Luke Cage is good. I like seeing him being a part of his community. He talks straight, and he has some really good interactions with Iron Fist, which really works well. Iron Fist, man, look, his character is just dull. He really is just dull. And to make matters worse, again, he's a central part of this series, which is so shocking to me. I'm not gonna act like I know a lot of Iron Fist backstory or follow his comics, but he is just so dull. He's like a petulant child. He's so moany and whiny. Now, I will say he's not as irritating as he was in the series, because in the series he just came back from his training and he was so hippie-ish and he was so out of water. Here, because he's been around a bit more and he's got control of his company, you know, he's more likable. And on top of that, he has a good dynamic with Luke Cage, which makes it more watchable. And to be honest with you, when I saw Iron Fist happy, when he's being happy with Luke Cage, I'm like, I like this guy happy. I just don't like him when he's being a whiny little bitch, a spoiled child, and the world revolves around him, and you know, he's just written badly. Now, I know the actor playing him is getting a lot of flack, but again, I blame the writing more than the actor himself. I think he's okay for the part, but honestly, personally, Iron Fist is not an interesting character to me, and that's all the things I like, the character dynamic of the Defenders. Now, the things I don't like just go far and is everything else. The plot, again, Elektra and Sigourney Weaver, these two characters. Now, The Sigourney Weaver character just ends up being disappointing because, you know, she comes in as this very menacing person who can command the hands, all that stuff. But what does she do? Nothing but really talk. I mean, she's got a little bit of aura, but that's it. And there's no nuance. It's just, I just like, you see an actor like this who's a big sci-fi icon, Ripley from Aliens, and you just wonder what she's going to bring to the table like the other big actors in the movies do. And again, Marvel disappoints. Marvel, Netflix, the scriptwriters disappoint with a very underwhelming character who, to be honest with you, is taking up the show in a good way. And Elektra. Now, Elektra, man, again, she was, look, I don't hate Elektra, and in the Daredevil show she was okay, but I just don't care for her enough for her to be another villain, and for them to bring Elektra back after Daredevil. I'm like, why are we not going to show a new character in the Defenders in the Marvel universe? There's so many enemies they could have used. Why would you bring back one you've already seen in the last Daredevil series? I'm like, why are you bringing up old shit? We've seen this. Do something else. Bring Elektra back in the Daredevil show. I just was like, are you bringing her back this quickly? It was just not interesting. And then to make matters worse, my God, honestly, let's talk about the Foot Clan. You watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Is that too much of a deep cut? The Hand, my God, these guys are boring as fuck. Oh my God. In Daredevil season 2, they started out being interesting, and then by the end you just hated them. Then in Iron Fist you hated them even more, and you bring them back in this series again? Dull. They just throw away foot soldiers. I didn't give a shit about the Hand. They even made them worse. Because, you know, we got the 5 members of the Hand, and we got, you know, Colleen Yang's master. Then you've got the old lady from Iron Fist, and then you've got Sigourney Weaver, and you've got this black guy, and and this Japanese guy that only speaks Japanese for the whole series. The Hand, they just don't impress. They do not impress. They're boring as hell. And I know they're always a big part of the Defenders or the Daredevil universe, but I just don't care for them. I just don't care for them at all. They're just so boring, and I wish we saw something new. And the overall story is not compelling. They're going back to the Daredevil season 2 hole in under the building, and, you know, tying that to Iron Fist is the key. Iron Fist is the key to everything. Boring ass Iron Fist. We're gonna go back to that shit, man. Oh my God. So the overall story is so disappointing. So apart from that disappointment, let's talk about the actual, like, the cinematography, the action scenes. The show looks very generic. It doesn't look like they put a lot of money into this. It looks, you know, the Luke Cage series aesthetically looked better. The Daredevil series aesthetically looked better. This just looks like, I don't know, man. I just wasn't impressed. The fight choreography ranged from average to poor. The best fight scene in this whole Defenders was probably a little scene, the last 2 episodes, one scene between Daredevil and Iron Fist, which honestly, it was a short fight, but that choreography they had together, that was really good. In fact, the scene where Iron Fist fights the whole Defenders in the end was pretty good. It was short, but it was really good, and it reminded you of the Avengers the first time when Hulk and Thor and Captain America all find each other. That was fun. And again, the very last scene under the basement, under the building, I mean, where there's this rotary running around, you know, the camera's going around, all the characters fighting, all the hands and all the members of the Hand, the heads of the Hand. That was kind of fun, but, you know, some of the music was inappropriate. Man, I just couldn't get away from this story being very uninteresting. That's my problem. Watching the characters interact with each other again was fun, and that was what held the series together, but the overall story is forgettable. And honestly, by the end of the series, I felt like the element this show served was to basically set off season 2 of all the other characters, because Jessica Jones gets a clearer path into season 2. Iron Fist, I don't know where that's going. Again, it's just boring. Luke Cage, again, that could go somewhere as well. Daredevil, a big part, you can see where that's going. And I just don't know, man. I was so disappointed. The story was just so bleh. Was so goddamn bleh, but the character interaction saved the series for me. And, you know, that's all I got to say. I was very disappointed. It's just so average. It's so meh. There was a bit of hype for this, but to be honest with you, I should have mentioned this before. The character dynamics as the defender, each defender, they're meant to bring something to the table, but a lot of them just felt like they overlapped. You know, Daredevil and Iron Fist felt like they served the same purpose. They're the martial arts ninja experts, and those two were the main focus, while Jessica Jones and Luke Cage were just helping them on the side. It really felt like Daredevil and Iron Fist season 2.5, while Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are along for the ride. And you know, as a group dynamic, it just was interesting to watch them have that contention, the arguments, the kind of friction between each other. But that's all they had. You know, they make a good team now, I guess, and I would actually watch a season 2, but this season was just felt like kind of like filler. Kind of just, it fixed a lot. I guess it kind of built a lot of things for each of them individually, but as a cohesive one-off Defender story, it kind of failed to me. And I just feel like I'm rambling on, guys. So again, I know a lot of people did like the show and a lot of people were disappointed, but I think it's very average. It's not hateable. I would give it a low watchable. It's okay. If you've seen the rest, I guess you could watch this, but you better set your expectations low, because this one is just, it's just disappointing. But I don't know, man. If you're more of a casual, maybe you won't care. Again, if you disagree with me, guys, leave a comment in the description down below. But yeah, honestly, I feel like the Marvel Netflix TV shows are slowly kind of disintegrating, and they're losing their edge from the first season of Daredevil. You know, Daredevil comes off unscathed in the series for the most part. Even though I don't really care for the Elektra storyline, he still comes off being pretty strong. So does Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Iron Fist is uninteresting. But you know, I hope they learn from this. But I'm not that excited to see more. I'm just like, meh, I'll watch another. But again, I don't know, man, guys. I feel deflated, and I'm glad this is done, because honestly, I don't know how many more reviews I'm going to do for these Netflix Marvel shows, because they're kind of getting a bit diminished. But again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. You disagree with me, think I'm being too harsh, then guys, I want to know. You loved it, tell me why. But anyway, guys, thanks for checking out another one. If you like this video, you like this discussion, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I want to say thank you for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another recording. Take care, peace out.